These Eagle fans, hey,
they're the
man.
best. They're the best.
The toughest fan base I've seen in a long time.
Well, they're very passionate, and I think the thing you learn when you play there, they want you to play hard. They won't accept anything else. Now, you might not win every game, but if you play hard, you win their favor. Now, they want to win and all that, but you just can't walk out there. They want you to leave it on the grass, which is kind of fun.
If they win between 10 and 13, I'll do my show on my knees. And I'm going to tell you something. I now know why Herm Edwards enjoyed playing in front of the Philadelphia Eagle fans, because high expectations, and nobody's going to take anything less than winning a division title. Let's bring in the Arizona State head football coach, Herm Edwards. I'll tell you, Coach, these Eagle fans, hey,
they're the best. They're the best.
The toughest fan base I've seen in a long time.
Well, they're very passionate, and I think the thing you learn when you play there, they want you to play hard. They won't accept anything else. Now, you might not win every game, but if you play hard, you win their favor. Now, they want to win and all that, but you just can't walk out there. They want you to leave it on the grass, which is kind of fun.
It is. Coach, I want to congratulate you here on something with your program that I don't think gets enough love, that I don't think reporters or anybody really throws at coaches, but your graduation rate is one of the highest that we have seen, and you're graduating kids. The one thing that you told me when I first got on when you first had you on my show, you said, I want to make an impact in these young men's lives, being football players, but most importantly, I want to send them in communities. And this is just some of the stuff that doesn't get enough love, is it, Coach? That what you do in preparing these guys for their life.
Well, that's important. And I promise every family that when recruiting these young men, they come in your office and I tell their families this. I said, look, he's going to leave here with a degree. He'll leave here a better man, in my opinion. We'll help him when he stumbles. And we're here to win football games. Those are the three things we talk about. And, we had 11 players this year that signed NFL contracts. I think 5 or 6 of them were drafted. All 11 of those guys graduated. So it's important that they understand that football is your vehicle. Don't allow football to use you. You use football as your vehicle.
Coach, the transfer portal has been brutal to a lot of programs, most notably yours. Just your sense of it's modern day free agency. It's because and again, Coach, it's almost a testament to you too, because you recruit great players to your program. Everyone knows this. Just your thoughts on how the transfer portal is being used in college football right now.
You mentioned it's free agency, and I think everyone's trying to figure out how you go about doing that. I think the student athlete has more power now in his hand, in the fact that if he doesn't like a certain program or may have a better opportunity financially to go somewhere else, they're going to take advantage of it. And we lost some young men, didn't want to leave, but it was just one of those things that for the best interest of them, they had to leave. But with that being said, we also brought in a bunch of guys too. So, your roster changes now. I mean, a third of your roster is going to change. We brought in 25 guys that are either portal players, grad transfers, or JC guys. And I think what happens, the trickle down effect is going to hurt high school players. Because if you're a program that you lose a bunch of guys, in which we did last year, and we had anticipated this contract, well, how do you replace those guys? You can't replace those guys with all freshmen because you're still trying to win. And so now you go into this portal world and you get players out of that.
Coach, let me throw this at you here too. You've had turnover in your coaching staff too. Is that going to be a huge challenge for you this year?
Well, it's kind of ironic, and I learned this my first year. I've never had a coaching staff, for the most part, not lose a coach every year, 2 or 3.
Hey, Coach, you're covering your mic with your.
Oh,
your
I'm
with
sorry.
your
Am I okay now?
pen.
Am I okay now?
Yep, you're okay. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah,
Could you
yeah.
repeat that, please?
Well, it's kind of like in pro football, guys are tied into contracts. In college football, if a guy can advance and go somewhere else, then rightly so, they do that. And I think this is why you have to have a good system of young GAs that come into your program, that when a guy leaves, you're training him to be a coach, right? I mean, that's what you got to do.
Coach, let me throw this at you now, too. It has changed so much, hasn't it? Recruiting, just in your time. I mean, the traditional recruiting, bringing a kid in, promising him an opportunity to play, giving him an education, giving him the ability to maybe play in the NFL. Now it just seems to me you have to re-recruit guys every year, your own guys, and now you have this nil law that's now out there too, that's also making it so free agency, highest bidder. Your take on this nil stuff, are you a fan of it? Are you not a fan of it? And how tough has recruiting been?
It really hadn't been tough for us. I think we have a plan. We had a plan going in, knowing that we were going to have to get older players in our program, a la the grad transfer or the portal player. And I just think you have to understand that you have to be able to adjust. I've always said this, just like in a football game. A plan that can't be changed is a bad plan. So how do you adjust? And you don't get mad, you don't holler, you don't shout. And you know me long enough. I mean, I don't panic. I just stay calm and say, look, we lose this guy. There's 3 other guys out here. Let's take a run at one of these 3 guys and bring them in and let them look at our program. Let them look at the men in the building that are coaching them. Because all these guys want to go to where? The National Football League. We know that, right? When you can get 11 guys on your team to sign NFL contracts and 5 of them being drafted, that says something. That gives you a big time chip. And when you walk around the building and you see all this NFL experience, coaches that are coaching them, they go, oh, okay, well, Coach, I see it. So that helps you.
Coach, I'll tell you a couple last questions for you here. I love what I was reading before I got you on. Not a lot of expectations at Arizona State this year, coming off an 8-5 season, this and that. And I went like this. I know what Coach is going to tell me, but I'm going to tell you what my coach, Jimmy Johnson, used to tell me. Good. Hey, when you get on the field, hammer them. Hey, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we don't have a lot of expectations. Jimmy used to always tell us this, hey, under promise, over deliver. And is that the message this year for your Sun Devil team?
Well, I think, for us, it's there's a perception and then there's reality. We don't live in perception. We live in reality. And I think the players that we've acquired and the players that are coming back understand we have a lot of talent on this team. We really do. And I think the key for us now is to put it all together and let them play together. They haven't played together. That's the thing that makes you nervous as a coach. How do we get them to play together? How do we get them going? We played 3 games out of conference early, which will help us. But I'm excited about our players. I really am. And I don't say that just because I'm the head coach and say, well, you're supposed to say that. That's just me. I've never gone into a season thinking I can't win. I don't operate that way. I really don't. As long as I get to play with 11, I got a shot.
2 last questions, Coach. Do you think college football is in a good place now?
I think college football is going to change. And as much as a lot of people may not like that, I just think that's the way it's headed. I think 4 or 5 years from now, it'll settle in and we'll figure out what that looks like. I do believe this. The student athlete now has more power. He can make decisions on his future. He can make choices, right? And if he doesn't like his first choice, guess what? He gets an opportunity to make another one. And so I think a lot of people struggle with that, right? And you know what, though? Hey, embrace it and say, this is the deal. You're going to have to recruit your players every year, even the guys you have on your team. And if they're a good player and he's a freshman, there are going to be people that come after him. And you better understand that. We lost our linebacker from Philadelphia, of all places, right? The Philly kid, great player, great family, and we lost him. He made All-American his first year, and he's no longer in the program. And, he came in my office and he's, almost crying. I say, hey, look, you got to do what's best for you and your family. And that's what I told him.
Coach, I'll tell you, man, what I love about you is you don't look at the roadblocks. You look how to get around the roadblocks and go through the roadblocks, because roadblocks are going to be in life, and they're going to be in your college career, your professional career, if you're lucky. Most coaches let those roadblocks get in the way of success. And if those, there's going to be speed bumps. And if you don't know that, you're not prepared in life.
That's what life's about. It's about how do you handle all that. And I think when you have a personality and your team takes on your personality, they get it. All my players ask me every day when I show up and I walk in the building, they say, Coach, are you good? And I look at them and smile. I say, Coach is good. They say, Coach, and we're all right. As long as you're good, Coach, we're good. That's a wonderful feeling to have.
Final question for you, Coach. Pac-12, do you think it's in a good place?
I do. I think it's competitive, very, very competitive in this conference. It'll be interesting. We have a new commissioner. He thinks outside the box.
He's an MGM guy, and it's more about entertainment and getting the conference in front of eyeballs and television sets, which means viewers. And I love that direction.
I do too. I just think he thinks outside the box. He has an opinion about things. He wants information. I just think he's in a place, and they're in a place now. Merton Hanks is working alongside with him as well. That I think going forward, the conference is in good hands.
Coach, I root for you every year. I think you have one of the great historical programs in the old Pac-8, Pac-12. Yeah. I just think I just absolutely love who you are, what you represent, and nothing but great success. We'll catch up again. Thank you so much, Coach. I really appreciate this.
Thank you, my brother. Congratulations. I love that. I love that Tampa Bay orange. I was there when we had the orange now.
Hey, check it out. So Leroy gave me this.
Yes.
To Dan, best always. Is he not one of the nicest people you've ever met in your life?
Ever met.
Leroy Selman?
Unbelievable. And when we first got down there with Tony, as you know, he was one of the first guys that showed up in the building, boy, and wished us much success. But that's the old orange now. My wife loves that orange now, by the way.
Hey, when I got drafted, my Buccaneer draft helmet, and Jimmy Johnson gave me every one of them footballs back there too. So I got some stuff. My wife lets me have my own man cave, Coach. That's it. Other than that,
have to have that.
I can't have it anywhere else.
It's
Coach,
okay.
thank you, my friend.
I love you, brother. Congratulations.
I love you too, Coach, so much. Great success to Herm Edwards. Absolutely one of the finest people I know. You want to send your kids somewhere? You send them to Herm Edwards. Folks, real quick, Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. If you are hurt or injured on the job, finding an attorney is one of the most important things that you can possibly do. For the people is not a slogan. It's who they are. It's what they have been for the last 30 years. With over 800 attorneys and offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida, there is no attorney firm that is going to do battle for you that's bigger than Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's what they are again. And they'll make sure they get you and your family the fair compensation. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. Look, I tell you this, the consultation and the call are free, but that's part of it. Because once they go to battle for you, you got a partner for life here. Again, open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor, tell them Big Sil sent you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you're hit from behind in a car crash, the insurance company may try to say, you can't possibly be hurt. It was only a few miles an hour. It's simply not true. You see, here's the thing. Getting hit at 10 miles per hour is like falling off of this. 15 miles per hour, like this. And only 25 miles per hour, this. Injured, dial pound law. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.